You know, I've always thought of myself as an effective communicator. And to receive these low scores, it's dazzling to me. I was shy in middle school, and I started coming to my own in about the 7th grade. Ever since then, I've always been telling stories, telling jokes. I was the class clown for a little bit, and then I was the class president in Road Community College, and the scores I received here: flexibility 100. Why is that? Flexibility 100, assertiveness 66.3, responsiveness 67.5. Why is there such a difference between my flexibility, where I get 100, assertiveness and responsiveness, where I'm in the high 60s? Why? Because I took the flexibility quiz myself. The cognitive flexibility scale, I took that quiz. That's my interpretation of my flexibility is 100. Other people see me as 66% assertive. Obviously they haven't seen me on the soccer field. Obviously they haven't seen me in confrontation. Why? Because I avoid confrontation until it's necessary. Responsiveness 67.5. I don't know what to tell you. I saw questions like, is Robert Bell friendly? Yes. Is Robert Bell helpful? Yes. Is Robert Bell sympathetic? Yes. But then again, I come out with 67. Why is this? I think it's because Americans as a unit are not optimistic, you know. I remember back in high school, we would give ourselves grades in our welding class. Each student would grade themselves according to how they think they did, and I always gave myself a 10 because I always worked for the entirety of the class. But my friend Cole Valentine, at best, he would give himself a 9. And one day, he spent 1/3 of the class helping other students instead of himself. So he gave himself a 7 because he figured that's how much time he spent. He spent about 70% of the time working on his own stuff, 30% of the time working on other people's projects. And he gave himself a 7 out of 10 because he went beyond. When I told the teacher about this, because obviously his views were severely skewed. His views were severely skewed. She said, Cole, you deserve not a 7, but a 13 because you went beyond. Anyways, are they consistent with my perceptions of my strengths and weaknesses? No. My responsiveness, I believe I should have, you know, a 98. Assertiveness, 88. Why? Because I'm not aggressive, but I definitely defend my own beliefs and what I believe is right. I defend who I love. Workplace is suited for me. I always saw myself in a leadership role. I mean, maybe a pastor, a motivational speaker. I remember I used to want to be the president, but then I decided that's not going to be very much fun. Every president, I mean, in 4 years, they look like they're 20 years older after their term is over, so that doesn't sound fun for me. What am I unsuited for? You know, I love to serve. I love to serve men, but I'd rather serve from a leadership position than from an actual servitude position. Like, one time I had to clean toilets. When I was 14, I got a job at daycare, and I played with the kids all day at the Boys and Girls Club, and then at the end of the day, I mopped the floors. It wasn't that bad. And then I cleaned toilets. I'll never clean another toilet again. Public. Never clean another public toilet again. It's not my thing. For the people that can do that, God bless them. You know, God has blessed them with the ability to withstand that enduring task, but I can't clean the toilet. My lowest score was assertiveness. I got a 66, but close behind that I got a 67 on responsiveness, so really they're both low. But assertiveness is the lowest, and I have to say I'm not a very aggressive person. A lot of the times I'm seen avoiding confrontation. You know, it doesn't even really come my way. I remember I was more aggressive before the turn of the millennium. We moved to Oregon in 1999 to get away from the gangs in Los Angeles, where I had previously resided with my family, and I was always getting in fights. I mean, even in elementary school, always in fights just because of the area. Now I live in Oregon, and I remember I got in one fight in the 5th grade, and it was to protect my best friend. And since then, confrontations just don't come my way. I mean, I know there's spiritual battles, and that's the most of the confrontation I have. Not with man, because I love man, but I hate the devil. And that's where my confrontation lies. And am I assertive towards the devil? You betcha I am. How can I become more effective in my assertiveness? I don't really see myself having any weaknesses in assertiveness. If I could think of one.